Drake's lawyers are just unserious people. Because all UMG has to do to get rid of this defamation case is play that one video. Y'all know which video? That concert, there was some blue lighting.
So Drake's accused UMG and Spotify of botting streams for Not Like Us to inflate the numbers, right? And you know what happened because of that? Kendrick Lamar's Not Like Us is aiming for a roughly 440% increase in US sales and 20% increase in US streams this week.
But I wouldn't be shocked if this man right here wanted to serve Drake some humble pie. And this man being Lucien Grange, the CEO of Universal Music.
Diedrich Devon Williams, who's behind bars for life, for XXXTentacion, is now appealing his case, his conviction, his sentence, on the grounds that he did not receive a fair trial. And this is in part due to what his attorneys say is the exclusion of evidence that pointed the finger or maybe pointed the finger at other people. And one of those people whose name has come up is rapper Drake.
Drake has a rich baby daddy named Lucien and Universal.
Wow.
He's like, like, man, my daddy got it. You know what I'm saying? It's like, my daddy controlled the spins. My daddy got the DSPs. My daddy. Drake has a rich baby daddy.
In the shadowy depths of the music industry, a chilling tale of hubris unfolds. Drake, once the golden child, has awakened something dark and terrible within the halls of Universal Music Group. Like a modern Icarus flying too close to the sun, he dared to grasp for more, a haunting $600 million deal that would prove to be his undoing. The walls of UMG, which once echoed with his triumph, now hold whispers of his downfall. Drake, intoxicated by his own power, believed he could bend the very forces that created him. But pride, that ancient destroyer of souls, led him down a treacherous path. The $400 million deal that once crowned him king now seemed like mere scraps to his hunger-maddened mind. In his delusion, Drake committed the cardinal sin, believing the mask of friendship worn by UMG's puppet masters was real. Like a moth drawn to a deadly flame, he reached for $600 million, expecting his special bond to protect him. But in the labyrinthine world of music industry politics, such naivety proves fatal. When the titans of UMG refused to bow to his demands, Drake unleashed chaos. In a desperate gambit that would make Mephistopheles himself pause, he hurled accusations of RICO violations and stream manipulation at his former masters, dragging Kendrick Lamar's Not Like Us into the vortex of his vengeance. But perhaps most tragic was Drake's fatal misreading of his relationship with Lucien Grange. Like a court jester who forgot his place, Drake mistook professional courtesy for family bonds, business for blood. Kanye's warnings about the true nature of these labels, monsters wearing suits, dealing in souls rather than contracts, fell on deaf ears. Now, as the Australian tour looms like a gathering storm, whispers spread of Drake's latest weapon, a new diss track aimed at Kendrick, a siren song of defiance. But in this game of shadows and power, every move carries consequences that echo through the industry's darkest corners.
It all makes sense. The lawsuit is why so many rappers basically took back what they said about Drake. UMG has been monopolizing the music industry. In fact, they either own or have a joint share in pretty much all the major labels across America. If Drake were to win this lawsuit, the money that will be going to fund some of these labels will be going to Drake.
The blood-soaked chronicles of Drake's reign at UMG cast long shadows. For years, he was their golden goose, his success feeding the machine with endless streams of wealth. But in the darkest corners of the industry, even kings can become pawns. Drake's fatal flaw was believing his throne was built on bedrock when it truly rested on quicksand. Now UMG emerges from its corporate chrysalis, revealing its true form, not a nurturing parent, but a calculating predator. This isn't their first dance with defiant stars. The industry giant has a graveyard filled with the careers of those who dared to challenge its supremacy. In a desperate bid for control, Drake unleashed twin lawsuits against the beast, each more damning than the last. The first accusation pierces the veil of industry manipulation, claiming UMG orchestrated an unholy alliance with Spotify to artificially inflate Kendrick Lamar's Not Like Us. But the second claim delves into darker territory. Drake alleges UMG willingly allowed Kendrick to brand him with the mark of unspeakable accusations, releasing Not Like Us despite its defamatory claims about unforgivable acts. These legal daggers mark the point of no return, where professional ties transform into personal vendettas. The hallways of UMG, once Drake's sanctuary, now echo with whispers of betrayal. For years, the label had crafted his image with surgical precision, crowning him their chosen one. UMG's patriarch, Lucian Grange, once uttered words that would prove prophetic. Drake could name his price, and the label would deliver like a devil's bargain sealed in gold. The empire Drake built seemed unassailable. His albums were scripture, his singles gospel, and his influence spread like a beautiful poison through the veins of the music world. UMG's reward for their golden child was unprecedented. A deal worth $400 to $500 million, a number that would make Midas himself pause. But beneath this golden deal lurked something more sinister. Whispers in dark corners spoke of equity stakes, of ownership that stretched beyond mere music. If true, Drake's grasp could have extended to other artists' catalogs under Universal's vast umbrella. Most chilling were the murmurs that Drake had set his sights on, acquiring Kendrick Lamar's catalog, like a predator stalking its prey in the night. Then came Drake's connection to Lucian Grange, a relationship that would unravel like a thread pulled from a cursed tapestry. Grange's name had already been dragged through the shadows, first in Diddy's lawsuit, then by Kanye's cryptic reference to Drake's rich baby daddy.
It cuts Drake's soul. It's like he signed his soul to the devil to not be cool with me, to have to this is his job to go against God. Wow. And it cuts his soul. Drake has a rich baby daddy named Lucian and Universal.
Wow.
He's like, man, my daddy got it. You know what I'm saying? It's like,
wow.
My daddy controlled the spins. My daddy got the DSPs. Drake has a rich baby daddy named Lucian.
So all of his streams in the number ones is controlled by someone named Lucian.
The plot twisted deeper into darkness when Lucian allegedly warned Drake to cease his machinations. Kendrick had begun dropping breadcrumbs about industry secrets, particularly concerning those unspeakable PDF file allegations. Like a prophetic nightmare, the lawsuit filed by producer Lil Rod against Diddy emerged, its pages dripping with accusations that stained Lucian's name. Lil Rod's allegations painted a portrait of darkness, suggesting Lucian and Diddy's relationship transcended mere business ties. The producer claimed Lucian aided, abetted, and induced Sha K's X venture, positioning him as a shadowy puppet master who knowingly benefited from Diddy's alleged crimes. The accusation that Lucian was providing vast sums of cash, which made Diddy's criminal venture possible, hung in the air like an executioner's blade. Yet in a twist worthy of the darkest thriller, less than 3 months after Lil Rod's lawsuit materialized, his attorney quietly excised Universal Music Group and Lucian Grange from the list of defendants, as if erasing names from a cursed grimoire.
Lucian Grange and Universal Music Group are now dropped from the Diddy lawsuit. Tyrone Blackburn dropped them from the lawsuit with prejudice after the attorneys for Universal Music Group and Lucian Grange said that the accusations were so offensively false that they plan to seek legal penalties directly against the lawyer Tyrone Blackburn and not even the accuser. And I feel like the only reason that Tyrone Blackburn dropped them from this lawsuit is because he knows how good of attorneys these actually are, and they're backed by Universal Music Group and Lucian Grange, so there's some big money behind them.
Just as Lucian and UMG thought they had exorcised the demons of Lil Rod's lawsuit, Kendrick's feud with Drake began its sinister escalation. Kendrick's hints about exposing the industry's buried secrets sent tremors through UMG's foundations. For Lucian Grange, fresh from escaping Diddy's legal inferno, this new threat loomed like a gathering storm. Drake's lawsuits against UMG now read like incantations of self-destruction. The whispers in the industry's shadows suggest he may share Diddy's fate, a cautionary tale of pride before the fall. The signs of UMG's displeasure had manifested long before these legal proclamations. When Drake released his massive 100-gigabyte collection of unreleased tracks, a digital Pandora's box, Universal's response was swift and merciless. Their copyright strikes fell like executioner's axes, severing 3 tracks from his official site with supernatural speed. Drake's defiance manifested on social media, sharing UMG's takedown notice like a battle trophy. Rather than retreat, he doubled down, demanding his contract be elevated to an unholy $600 million. While Lucian Grange had masterfully orchestrated UMG's escape from Lil Rod's lawsuit and minimized his Diddy connection, Drake's actions dragged him back into the spotlight's merciless glare. Industry insiders whisper that Drake has awakened ancient forces beyond his comprehension. UMG's thirst for vengeance runs deep, their denial of Drake's claims carrying undertones of calculated malice. Their statement to Billboard drips with cold fury. The suggestion that UMG would do anything to undermine any of its artists is offensive and untrue. We employ the highest ethical practices in our marketing and promotional campaigns. No amount of contrived and absurd legal arguments in this pre-action submission can mask the fact that fans choose the music they want to hear. Spotify, too, has emerged from the shadows to confront Drake's accusations. Their December 20th court motion in Manhattan reads like an exorcism of Drake's claims, finding no evidence of bot manipulation and denouncing any alleged conspiracy with UMG to elevate Kendrick's track. Spotify's legal response manifests as a dark prophecy, condemning Drake's claims as far-fetched and speculative. Their court filing dissects his legal strategy with surgical precision, noting his use of a rare pre-action petition instead of a proper lawsuit, a desperate gambit born of weak claims that would crumble under proper scrutiny. The streaming giant's declaration echoes through the corridors of power. What is seeking to do here is to bypass the normal pleading requirements and obtain by way of pre-action discovery that which it would only be entitled to seek were it to survive a motion to dismiss. This subversion of the normal judicial process should be rejected. Yet Drake, like a man possessed, refuses to yield. His representatives issued a chilling response to Billboard. It is not surprising that Spotify is trying to distance themselves from UMG's allegedly manipulative practices to artificially inflate streaming numbers on behalf of one of its other artists. If Spotify and UMG have nothing to hide, then they should be perfectly fine complying with this basic discovery request. In the depths of this industry nightmare, rumors swirl of Drake's ultimate weapon, a new diss track set to debut during his Australian tour. This sonic assault targets not just Kendrick but UMG itself, as if Drake seeks to burn every bridge in a final blaze of glory. The question that haunts the industry's collective consciousness: has Drake's hubris finally led him to the point of no return? By continuing to provoke the sleeping giant that is UMG, has he unknowingly authored his own requiem? The years of success, the carefully crafted empire he built, all balanced on a knife's edge, ready to plummet into the abyss at UMG's whim. As the Australian tour approaches like an impending storm, the music industry holds its breath, waiting to see if Drake's defiance will be his salvation or his damnation. In this twisted game of power and control, even titans can fall, and the price of pride often comes due with devastating interest.